is all the national park, though.
Everybody.
Ah, see.
No possible more.
See. It's all government, like the government owns all of it.
Welcome back to Invest Global. Today I'll be taking you through two very interesting towns in the Ica province in southern Peru. This is about a 4-hour drive south from Lima. Now, I toured a few different properties, but the main one I'm going to show you in this video is just an example of some properties that you are never going to find online. That's something that I always like to focus on, is boots on the ground research. That's what I provide for private clients. But in this case, the property is quite interesting, under $20,000 US. Now, it's in Paracas. These are the two towns I'm going to show you, Paracas and Huacachina. Here, I'm walking you through Paracas. This is my first night there. I spent about 10 days in Paracas, found some really interesting opportunities here, especially kind of on this main boardwalk. There's really just one main road that runs through the town, and this has a ton of tourist attractions. Basically, what they do is they take people out. If you can see that kind of boardwalk, that major dock there, right here. Basically in the mornings, they'll take a bunch of people out on these boats, show them the penguins they have there. They're called like Humboldt penguins. They're the only ones really found in Peru. And then some other wildlife like sea lions and things like this. Really beautiful. They also have this area that's kind of similar to the Nazca lines, which you can see from above. They're kind of like these ancient lines drawn in the ground that are really beautiful. I'll show you some clips of that. But this drive to the main property that I'm going to show you is kind of interesting, right? So we basically drove about 7 minutes out of the main Paracas town to this kind of smaller area where this property is very, very small, but there is opportunity in my personal opinion here. Now, if you guys are interested in any properties like this, you can always reach out to us via the contact link down below. But this specific one is very, very cheap, and it was really the only property for sale that I kind of wanted to show you that was a bit unique in this Paracas area. Huacachina I'll be showing you a bit later on, but like I said, this one's very, very small. It's kind of this little plot here. It's very, very close to the main Paracas town, and the nice thing is all the traffic running from Lima goes through this road, right? So everybody's gonna cross through here. However, this is a bit of a riskier one, right? So if you're thinking about, hey, just like diversifying a little bit, this is a tiny amount of money, very negotiable, by the way. I think you could get this property down to like $12,000 US. I talked him down to 15,000. But at the end of the day, you have to kind of understand what you're getting yourself into. And this would be more like a project, right? So like I said, this main town of Paracas has a lot of traffic, right? So a lot of people come here to do these kind of like sea tours, check everything out, and the drive from Paracas to Huacachina was quite beautiful as well. I really did enjoy this, but one thing I want to touch on is the main boardwalk in kind of any of these smaller towns across South America, outside of the capital city where not a lot of people are investing. I do find a lot of opportunity where you could come in and kind of help businesses, right? So in the past, what I've done in the US is kind of gone in and help businesses with their marketing, with their digital kind of strategy, but a lot of these towns, they have nothing like that, right? So maybe they're going to tell you to write a review on TripAdvisor, but this is that main boardwalk. So there's a lot of these restaurants that you can see here. None of them really had a good digital strategy. So this is something that, you know, I always like to see when I'm looking at value in other countries. This, again, kind of that main walk area. These are just little shops they have here, but the further you get down, the more interesting it gets, right? So I did speak with some of the business owners. I talked with some of the employees. My Spanish is getting better. Also in the morning, this is kind of where everybody gathers for those boat tours I was talking about. This is kind of more at the end. So this is where you're getting closer to this yacht club that they have. These are kind of smaller restaurants. But again, not many people really focusing on innovation, on using kind of digital strategies to grow your business. And that's where I see there's a lot of opportunity where you can kind of bring a value add. Also, this is the area where they kind of had that Nazca line. You can kind of see it over there, but it's very beautiful. So again, this area has constant demand for tourism, and that's where I see, okay, you know, the current businesses in place, they're looking to grow, they're looking to kind of innovate. A lot of this area is just only kind of like touristic type of things, but there's a lot of value add you can bring to a place like this. And I just, when I look at it and I look at the structure, how they're kind of strategizing their business, it's not very advanced, right? So that's where you can bring in, you know, some value, right? You can kind of bring in some equity and to help a lot of these businesses. Next, we're here in the town of Huacachina. This is that beautiful desert oasis. I think there's a lot of opportunity here, to be honest. Now, not a lot of properties were for sale. The only one I was able to find, I actually wasn't able to record. There was nothing online, so I tried to meet with real estate agents. This town is quite small. Like I said, you can see kind of in those first clips how big this is. So this is kind of the desert oasis area. This is kind of that famous lake. But a lot of these businesses around this, I spoke with them. I just talked with the business owner, and I would basically ask, you know, hey, do you know any properties for sale in this area? You know, what's going on here? And not many people knew about this. So I kind of went to this government building and asked around. about properties for sale. They did show me one, but like I said, I wasn't able to record it. But I do think this town in general is quite beautiful, right? So I think this and Paracas have a lot of opportunity where, you know, there's room for growth. They're kind of doing things like, you know, if you went back 20, 30 years in the US or Canada, the way they're doing them at that time, right? So they're not very kind of forward thinking in the way they're running the business. And again, that's where I find a lot of value and a lot of opportunity. I'll be talking more about this kind of in future videos about South America, about Africa and Asia, where, you know, you kind of go to some of these places and it really is like a time machine, right? So you see the way they're doing things is just very outdated, and you can kind of come in, at least help them, right? So you can offer that as a service, anything like that, and then maybe, you know, potentially get a percentage or some equity in one of the businesses here and kind of ride the upside. So the thing that I like about that is, you know, for me, the kind of long-term goal is 12 different properties around the world where you kind of have an interesting lifestyle investment play. So you can help grow the businesses, help kind of them innovate in this way. Also, that was the government building that I just showed you, but like I was saying, you can kind of help them innovate in this way and bring a lot more opportunity to the businesses here, because they're doing things that are very, very outdated. Like I said, not to beat a dead horse, but I see this all over, right? So now I'm, you know, when I'm reflecting on this, kind of creating these videos from when I was in Peru, I'm currently here in Bolivia, and it's almost even more of a time machine backwards in Bolivia. So stay tuned for future videos. On Bolivia, I'll be, let's see, heading to Chile here in a couple of days, then Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay, then back to Colombia. So anyways, I'm just going to end this out. I just kind of wanted to show you my experience, my thoughts on these areas. But like I said, that one property in Paracas was, you know, you could probably get that for like 15 to 12,000 US dollars. Very, very cheap. Obviously, you have to develop that area. But I mean, there's a lot of people where the labor is very, very cheap in that area. So that's all for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, like the video, subscribe to the channel, stay up to date, hit the notification bell, click all, invest global, and until next time.